The fourth commandment. A commandment that the world is indifferent of. When some people believe that the 10 Commandments still exists, there are others who believe that it doesn't. Or simply, they want to erase the fourth commandment. Now, when we talk about the law of God, of all the biblical laws and commandments, the 10 Commandments alone are said to have been written with the finger of God. Exodus 31:18 tells us the stone tablets were placed in the Ark of the Covenant. The law of Moses was placed on the side of the Ark with the 10 Commandments, which was written with the finger of God, was placed in the Ark. Now the big problem is not the other 9 commandments, but the fourth commandment. What is important about the fourth commandment that we must all understand? It signifies that God is the creator of heaven and earth. It is the only commandment of the 10 that signify that God is the creator. As the fourth commandment signifies, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all in them is, and he rested on the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Now, what I want you to understand, when the Bible said, for in 6 days the Lord made, it is saying that God is the creator of heaven and earth. Now, the devil will have us to believe, or he desires to erase God as the creator. It is the only commandment out of the 10 that signifies who is in charge of all of this. And guess what? The devil wants us to believe that the fourth commandment no longer exists. In other words, he wants us to believe that the one that calls God the creator is done away with. We no longer have to keep the Sabbath day holy. Or maybe he wants us to believe that I am a creator, so I can choose whichever day I want to worship God. That's what he wants us to believe. In order to choose a day and to make it holy, one must be the creator of heaven and earth. But we must understand that Exodus 20 starts off saying these very words. And the Lord spake all these words, saying. We have to understand that when God speaks, his word will not change. For he says in Psalms 89 verse 34, my covenant I will not break, nor alter the words that goes out of my mouth. God spoke the 10 Commandments to Moses before he even wrote it on 2 tablets of stone. So when God speaks, he will not alter it. God will not change his word. You see, Numbers 23:19 tells us that God is not a man that he should lie. And Malachi 3:6 says, for I am the Lord, I change not. The book of John lets us know in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And he was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him, nothing that was made. And the Word was made flesh and dwelled amongst us. Ladies and gentlemen, if the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and God says, I am God and I change not, how can God change his commandments when he said that I'm not a man that I should lie? How could God change his commandment that he said, remember? It is the only commandment in all of history where God said, remember the seventh day to keep it holy. God is telling you and I am the creator of heaven and earth. And that is listed in the fourth commandments. When we read Genesis chapter 2, it says that God rested on the seventh day from all his work. God is calling you and I to remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy, because he is the creator. It signifies God as the creator of heaven and earth. And the last thing the devil wants you to do is to keep the Sabbath day holy, because it reminds you of God's creative power. So he will attack that one commandment above all others, because we all know thou shalt not kill. We all know thou shalt not steal. It has an immediate effect on us when someone steals something from us, or if someone kills someone we love. But when it comes to keeping the Sabbath day holy, it has no personal effects on us, but it does have a spiritual effect. So God is calling you today to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, the sea, and all in them is, and rested on the seventh day, where the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and keep it holy. God is calling you to remember his creative power by resting on the Sabbath day.